to the weekly axe kicking. So it's been a really, really crazy week. I have a very important exam coming up on Tuesday, and because of that, I've been spending most of my time at school, and that's where we're at right now, practice room at school, and it's actually pretty nice because of all the resonance and the echo. Now today I want to talk about diads. A dyad is basically a couple of notes that will imply a chord. For example, D and F sharp might imply D major, or maybe B minor. E and G, E minor, or maybe the third and fifth of a C major chord. F sharp and A could be F sharp minor, or the third and fifth of a D major chord. So let's take a look at this figure that is going to be using dyads combined with pull-offs, and it's pretty cool. Check it out. Alright, so the first thing we're doing here is we have a B on the 12th fret of the second string. We're plucking that with the I index finger. And a D, 10th fret of the first string, plucking that with M, our index finger. And the 6th string is being played with our thumb. So we have, and then we're going to pull off the first finger so that the first string, the E, rings out. And then we're going to pluck that one more time with our A ring finger. So we put it all together. So after we do this, we are going to go to a G sharp on the second string. That's the 9th fret with our first finger. And once again, we're keeping that same, we're going to keep the same right hand finger pattern as we did the last time. So, G sharp here, and the pinky's going to cover the E on the 12th fret of the first string. And we're going to do a pull off once again on the first string, so this time the pull off will be with our pinky finger, and again plucking it with the A finger of the right hand. So far we have this. One more time. So after that we have an A on the 10th fret of the second string with our second finger. Then we have a C sharp, 9th fret of the first string with our first finger. And again we're going to pull off the note on the first string and pluck it again with the A finger of the right hand. So if we put all these together so far. The next thing we're doing is going to a G sharp on the second string. That's the 9th fret, covering that with our third finger. And we have a B on the first string, 7th fret. And once again, playing it, pull off, pluck the string. So let's look at this all so far. One more time. So we're going to close out this first section with a little riff. It's going to start with a hammer-on the 3rd string, D, 7th fret, to E, 9th fret, with our first and third fingers. And we're plucking that with our thumb. Then we're playing an F sharp on the 7th fret of the second string, plucking that with the I finger. And then we're plucking the open string E, the first string, with the A finger. So here's the first section played in its entirety. Again. Now this first section is going to repeat, and when it does, we're adding one more riff on top of that one right there. See if you can hold these fingers from the previous riff and slide up the third finger from E to F sharp there on the 3rd string, 9th to the 11th fret. And then first finger will also slide up 2 notes, a whole step from F sharp to G sharp. And then we're going to be plucking the first string once again. So, let's hear that all in its entirety. Now this riff is closing out with a little retard at the end, and it actually kind of starts around here, or that little slide riff, but what we're going to do is, since we're plucking an open string, we have just the right amount of time to do a position shift, lowering the neck. We're going to go to the A on the second fret of the third string. We're actually going to kind of do a little bar here across the first 4 strings. So we're going to go to this A, plug it with our thumb, hammer on with I'm using the pinky right now, from A to B. Then we're going to pluck the C sharp that we have barred on the second fret of the second string. We have this basically a downwards A major arpeggio. So we're plucking that hammer on with the thumb. Then we pluck the C sharp with our A ring finger, the A with our the A note with our middle finger, and the E here on the 4th string with our index finger. Then we're ending it with a thumb plucked C sharp on the 5th string, so that's the 4th fret. Pull off to the B, and then pull off one more time to the open A. So let's look at that whole thing. I'm just ending it on an A chord. Alright, now if you're not as familiar or you haven't done a lot of finger picking, this is one of those things you want to practice really slow if you want to learn it at a pretty moderate tempo. Just put it really slow with the metronome, maybe at like doing a couple notes at around 60 to 80 clicks, and just kind of slowly build it up from there. One thing you don't want to do when you're finger picking this kind of stuff, and this is what I see a lot of my students doing when they start out, is doing this. The bouncing of the hand. You want to keep your hand as relaxed as possible. Like that. So, that'll about wrap it up for this week, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.